days, 11 days. But it's starting to look like a car. So let me turn this around and Brandon can explain to you what we've done. So I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but this was just like a frame. Like this frame, that was it. So we did a lot this week. I helped. So yeah. So what did we do?
So we started with the firewall, the front firewall, and Amanda was a good help on this. She drilled a lot of the aluminum and drilled the lines and everything and threw it and drilled it, and then we used rhino lining on it, keep the sound down and black and look good.
Front suspension.
Oh yeah, we did the front suspension. This is all Subaru stuff here, the calipers and knuckles. I sandblasted those and painted them weeks ago before the car even showed up.
We did
coilovers, A-arms, rack and pinion, the battery, radiator mount. None of this stuff was here.
Like all of this we put on.
All just came in the boxes.
These are horns.
Yep.
Horns. We did brake lines, the steering rack or steering column. What's it
Steering
called?
column.
Steering column. Clutch cylinder, brake cylinder. And then Brandon ran all the brake lines in the back. This is our like makeshift seat right here. But we got the gauge cluster installed. Temporary. All the pedals installed. This steering column. This steering wheel is new. That is the wiring harness. And you guys, Brandon washed the wiring harness in the dishwasher.
We did all this aluminum.
He came in and was like, the wiring harness is really dirty out of the Subaru. Because we have a donor car. So he's like, the wiring harness is really dirty. I'm gonna wash it in the dishwasher. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I want it to be clean. Okay. But it actually turned out really good. Well, it's not in the car yet, quite in the car. Like some things are plugged in already. It kind of looks like a hot mess. But we did all these panels. And then the seat belt. We got the seat belts installed. Those came off the Subaru. But you guys, like seeing these panels doesn't look like a big deal, but they came like this, aluminum, no rivets, no drilled. So we had to put them on, mark them, paint them, and then do 1 million rivets. Not even kidding, like 1 million. We put the fuel tank in, so it goes back here. And then we got we're like test fitting the body. We got the rear suspension and like all the rear suspension components. And then we obviously don't have a motor yet, but all the rear suspension. So it's like coming together and looking like a car, which is really fun. Brandon just did these, so cut these. There's like some really cool mesh stuff that goes in there. But are you having fun?
Yes.
It's like a lot of work. They said 250 hours?
Yeah.
250 hours. There were like a couple days where he was out here for 10 hours plus. I helped a lot. I'm mostly the bolt bitch.
Which makes a huge difference because like I would not be organized or have anything, know where anything is. I would just be a tornado of everything. But now I can be working on a project like a step, and then Amanda has all the bolts prepped, and then I just move to the next step and all the right bolts are there and I can just slam the parts together and then move on to the next step. It's a huge help.
They say like lots of cooks in the kitchen or like chiefs or however the saying goes. I am the instruction reader. So I like read the instruction, get the bolts and the hardware, like lay out all the parts because that whole thing is full of parts. So I like get the parts, lay them out, get the bolts, lay them out, and then we read and reread the instructions and then read and reread the instructions. And so far There's been no arguments. Brandon's
safety first,
sweet.
But you gotta look good while you do it. You gotta beat the dazzle.
Okay, so I wanted to show you guys these things too. They're called. That's what I will. So we got all the body panels fitted and cut. She got some new shoes today. She doesn't have a name yet. It's a girl, obviously. So we did the doors this week, and these little things in here. What are these called?
I don't know.
Side step panels. I don't know. They're on page like 400 and something of the manual. But we had to drill like a million holes and mark them, and then the doors. So there's nothing in the doors right now, but
they were fully assembled.
They were fully assembled, and they took like 2 days. Things and like checking the size of the gaps.
The gapes.
And like we had to cut some of the hood. This like stuck out really far. So how scary is it to cut?
It's pretty nerve-wracking because Factory 5 is closed until May 4th. So if I need parts, they aren't going to ship any until May 4th. And they're on the other side of the world. They're in like Massachusetts. So it's a week just to get them here at the very best. So I don't want to ruin anything when I'm cutting. So it's really stressful.
Oh, he had to cut these. So there's like mesh pieces that go in here. He cut this part for more mesh pieces. We showed you guys the headlights. The doors seriously took like forever. And I came out here one day and Brandon said he just was like sitting on the floor with this look on his face with like all these parts sitting in front of him. And I'm like, do you need help? He's like, yeah, I just don't even know what's the next step. So the awesome / not awesome manual doesn't have part numbers, but things have part numbers on them, but it doesn't have part numbers listed in the manual. It like doesn't say, I don't even know. It's very hard to decipher. So far this is what we've got. So we're just waiting on these hood pins, even though they're not gonna go just on the hood, but one goes right here, one goes right here, there's one that goes right here, and there's these little like button ones.
Yep.
They're like, if you guys have seen those boat cleats that like pop out, they're like those little buttons. So once we get those drilled, which is also really scary because you have to drill from here through, from this panel to this panel, which I think is really scary. Then we'll take it to paint. So we had to like cut these this week to fit, but that's the car. Oh, here's the mesh things. So they're like an insert. It's kind of cool. And this pops up. What is this, like the hood, but it's like the trunk?
This is the trunk. Trunk. It's the trunk.
But you'll be able to like see the motor will be in there. And then you can also, the intercooler will be in there. It's like pretty cool. The back is cool. Got the motor in. Got the wiring harness going in from a 2016. Got the steering column from a 2016, gauge cluster, radio. The motor is from a 2016. And then all the other stuff on the car is from an 06. So, hashtag Subaru life. So I came out here because Brandon said, want to see something cool. Pretty amazing. So amazing. So this does not look super amazing yet, but that's pretty awesome. We're gonna have fancy gauges, radio, all the business. We had a body guy come.
Had a body
guy come.
Here for like a couple days. Prepping, fitting.
So everything's looking way good. He put these things in and fit the hood. And then we're gonna paint this green also. And then Brandon got some carbon fiber on today.
Put the splitter on. This piece goes all the way to the back. And then I started to do the inner splash guards and air ventilating directional stuff.
And then the guy got the doors all lined up. He has to do a little bit of cutting right there. Brandon got all of the wiring, well, not here quite yet, but the doors closed, all the wiring under the hood is all done. And like, it looks really good. And then these little things are gonna go right here. So that'll go down like that. And then Brandon got all this stuff done. Once he gets all the wires all buttoned up back here, there's like some metal that goes here. He got all the body all straight.
Got the mid-engine tranny conversion done too.
So that's where the transmission is. And the motor. So mid-engine, rear wheel drive. Pretty crazy. So here's what's crazy, you guys. This thing might be on the road like next weekend. Smile. He's like, I'm so excited. 2016 WRX, but we got cat skin covers and they're going to be perforated down the middle. And so Brandon got a heated and air conditioned kit because we don't have air conditioning or heat in this car, like air conditionless. And we live in Arizona. So I was like, okay, so my butt cheeks are going to be sweaty on these leather seats because it's hot. And he says, no. So tell us how this thing works.
So there's this heating and air conditioning kit that goes into your seats. You cut it in and the foam panel and then it blows. And I just assumed that we were just gonna have like air blowing on our back and it would only cool if you had like a traditional car style air conditioning unit and be pulling cold air from that. Well, then to come to find out, it's got this fancy thing called like a thermodynamic plate in it. And then I started researching and it absolutely blew my mind. It's incredible. It's like magic.
This is how I feel about how it works. I have no idea, but it's literally blowing cold air right now.
It blows cold air. So like you add 12 volts to it and one half of the plate is cold and blowing cold air and the other half is hot. It's incredible. It's like magic.
He was like, babe, come out here. So this part will be, this will be like facing out on the perforated part of the seat so that you don't have sweaty butt cheeks. And then the heat comes out this side. So like do the little gun thing.
So like the car is 94 right now. Like that's how, just kind of like how hot it is. 85, so it's like 10 degrees colder.
And then what's that part? 106
coming out the back. So, and then when you switch the voltage with the switch, it actually switches and this heats up to blow hot air on you, and then this will blow cold air out the back.
It's magic. I don't know how, I don't understand. I'm like, I'm just glad I'm not gonna have sweaty butt cheeks. So, we just took the car, not just around the block, but we went on the big road. Like 45-mile-per-hour road with traffic.
We went over 45.
We went over 45. This car's fucking fast. Shio was what?
A Hellcat.
A Hellcat. So...
It moves.
It's real fast. Like, we went around the block one more time, like in our community, just to see, make sure everything was good, and then we went on the road just to make sure if we heard any like rattles or noises. And this thing, I feel like we burnt out in second gear. Like, it is real fast. Good it will be to have something as fast as a Hellcat in our life. This car only is gonna weigh like 1,800 pounds, maybe 1,900, because it has the bigger motor. So I think they said, what, 1,800 to 1,900 with the 2006 motor. This FA20 is a little bit heavier, so Brandon thinks it'll be more like 1,900. But 1,900 pounds and how much horsepower?
A little over 300.
Like a little over 300. So he was doing some calculations in bed the other night, and he's like, this thing should be faster than, or just as fast as a Hellcat.